Our first speaker is Kristen Womack. Kristen is an award-winning product leader, team builder, and technology consultant in Minneapolis. She's the co-founder of Hack the Gap and founder and principal of Night Sky Webco. And her talk is about using system log data to improve roadmaps. So give it up for Kristen.
All right. Even though DevOps is sometimes a department and sometimes a role, it's intended to be a culture and a set of practices with the promise of faster time to market, improved customer satisfaction, and improved product quality. And even though Agile is sometimes just batching software in 2-week increments, it's intended to be a software methodology that is about learning. Learning what to build, what not to build, and how to work more efficiently. But somehow we keep ending up in story hell, the special place where our backlogs turn into prioritized to-do lists, 50 stories deep, where you can barely see the forest for the trees. And our roadmaps are so bloated that there's no room to learn and to adjust. How do you tell an executive that you're going to take something off the roadmap? How do you know you're building the right thing? I believe there's a better way, and it starts with eliminating what I call the system shall stories. As a customer, I want so that I can. This is riddled with assumptions about the customer and about the solution. So think about customers in the jobs to be done lens. With the job to be done lens, it essentially says that customers hire a product when they have a job to be done. If the product does a good job, then they hire that product again. If not, they find another product to hire. For example, Steve hires a Snickers bar to satisfy his hunger. Not because he's a 35-year-old with a degree in marketing, who drives a Honda and wants to retire at 55. The job to be done is to hire the Snickers and to satisfy the hunger. The second thing to remember is that DevOps is actually something across product development and ops. But it'd be kind of weird to say prod DevOps. The important thing to remember is that the data coming out of ops is for planning also. When adding or prioritizing a new feature to your roadmap, the two most important questions are, should we build this and why? So I'm going to give you 5 quick techniques to use system log data to improve your roadmap and reduce bloated software. First, escape vanity metrics. You can see that the number of user signups in blue is steadily growing and everything looks perfect. But the number of people who actually use the software are in yellow, and that's flatlined. So people are signing up, but they're not using your product. This is a big problem when we use vanity metrics, because you omit the deeper narrative of what's happening with your product, and worse, you miss the opportunity to fix the root problem. Second, take your system log data and use data visualization as a tool. Data visualization gives more people the ability to join the conversation, which leads to more insights about your product across different departments and allows people to work together. Third, you want to take that data visualization and start to sift through it and look for patterns. When you look for patterns in data, you start to understand how people really use your product versus how you think they use your product. For example, your e-commerce site goes down, and you recognize that almost across every single store, the traffic plummets. And when the traffic plummets, you start to realize, shit, I better start prioritizing reliability and stability of my site than just some whiz-bang feature. Number 4, stop the feature factory. New feature requests come from everywhere. And the best product managers won't let you believe that everything can fit. And they know that a lot of features never or rarely get used. So if somebody comes to you and says, so much traffic, we need more features, you can actually show them that in the yellow column, most of the traffic is for one feature, and the green thing is the first row, it's for one customer. So the answer is not add more features. Fifth, leave intentional space in your roadmap. This is for learning and for adjusting. Your executives and stakeholders will ask you if you plan to do nothing in Q4, and this is your opportunity to educate them. To keep control of your roadmap, you have to remember its purpose, which is it's a visual representation of your long-term strategy. It's not a Gantt chart. It is not a detailed release plan. And it is not a promise of delivery. System log data is probably the most underutilized tool for product managers. It can really help us learn what not to build, even though we technically think about it as a tool for operations to dig in when something goes wrong. System log data is like part of the bigger puzzle of understanding the narrative of the job to be done in your product. And that is to help us understand what not to build in your product. So system log data is for planning too, not just ops.